Yeah, I lived in Mexico for like 3.5 years, and it's a whole different world down there. There was a lot of corruption, and basically I was doing good, and the police were taking from me because of that, and I got sick of being taken, so I invoked my rights, and stopped letting them in my vehicle and taking it and stuff, and then they just fucking one day they took me and murdered my fucking dog and sent me across the border. Can't go back for 5 years. At this point, I don't really know if I'd want to anyway, because I've been through a lot of hell down there. I mean, I've had some really fucked up shit happen to me down there by those guys. It wasn't just like a one-time incident. But yeah, I got deported, and I got to San Diego. I fucking didn't really, just wasn't feel the vibe. It was a really weird situation there. So I went to the train station and was like, hey, buy me a train ticket to LA, some dude. And he's like, yeah. So here I am. I didn't know where I was going either. I got on the train and asked the police officers, hey, where would you go if you were me? Hollywood and Highland. Got off down there in Hollywood and Highland. And I've pretty much been on Highland the entire time. I don't leave this area much, mainly because of the business that I have. And there's a lot of thievery out here. So if I leave my shit too long or I don't have somebody to watch it, which that's what this guy does, he helps me sometimes by watching my shit so I can go do stuff. But yeah, I mean, I do good, like I said, I do make money almost every day and stuff, but it's so expensive to be homeless sometimes because, I don't have a refrigerator to save food, I don't have a stove to cook food. Everything I eat is from like fucking Jack in the Box or 7-Eleven, expensive places to eat. And then when you got people stealing your shit all the time too, you're constantly buying shit again and again. Yeah, you don't have rent, electricity, but most of us have drug addictions too. I mean, I dare anybody to come live out here and not have something like that happen to them. I mean, there's a lot of negativity that comes from the people around us that aren't homeless. And, a lot of them are just, they've had one bad experience or something, and they just are judgmental across the board to all of us. And a lot of times they don't even realize that they're creating the monster by doing that, because there are good people out here. I like to think I'm one of them, and I mean, these guys are not like violent criminals or anything. But you get pushed, by people deciding for you when you can go to the bathroom, and or can you heat your fucking meal up in the microwave or whatever at the 7-Eleven, and they're like, no. You'll find a lot of people just seem to have power trips and will take it as far as they can to tell you no on anything that I personally could never tell somebody no to. Like, for instance, yesterday, this man was sleeping here and somebody pissed on him while he was asleep. So I went to find a bucket of water to help clean up the mess, and the guy at the barbershop across the street, I went to his employee first and asked for some clothes, and he helped me out. He gave me a couple shirts for me. I didn't have much to give, but that was nice. Then I went back, and the owner was there. I was holding up the bucket of water saying, I need some water to clean. And I even held up money because he was like shaking his head no, and he still wouldn't. It's like, how could you tell somebody? I could never be like, no, you can't clean yourself. No, I'm not going to give you water to wash your body off of somebody else's piss. I don't understand where that comes from. Like, it's not the world I thought I was growing up in, that's for sure. I don't understand where the love is gone. Nobody seems to give a shit about anybody but themselves these days. You just never know what the fuck's going to happen. I mean, somebody could just be walking down the street you've never had any contact with in your life, and the next thing you know, you're just in a fucking battle with them. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if they could be on drugs and hallucinating, or just out there, or you just never know what's gonna happen. I don't even know where to go with that. Every day something fucking insane happens, so there's always something crazy going on. It's Hollywood. It's Hollyweird, right? I went public with my transgender in Mexico first, and down there they're just way behind the times. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I think for a lot of them, I'm probably the first person like that they've ever seen. So they just point and stare, and they don't have much couth down there anyway. So they'll say whatever the fuck comes out of their mouth. But here it's like it was a relief coming here, because I don't get even 1% of the uncomfortableness that I had down there. I don't want to be out here forever, that's for damn sure. And I work my ass off to keep myself, happy in some ways, but it's lonely for sure. I mean, I don't have any family or friends to turn to anywhere in this entire country. So I'm just, and the organizations around here that help the homeless, they're full of shit. I mean, they don't really do anything more than collect names to put on paper and collect state funds. maybe 1% of the people out here are actually getting some help from them, and even less than probably another 1% of those people that get into like say Project Room Key and stuff actually end up in a house or a home after that. You know what I mean? It's like temporary just for the look of it kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like they only help what they have to. And I've actually had one guy from an organization called LASA here like sabotage a housing option that I had one day, and I mean, like that was ridiculous. And I mean, it wasn't really the greatest option in the world anyway. And once I saw through the bullshit, I kind of didn't really want to go there anyway afterwards. But it doesn't do you any good to be, you know, all butthurt about the world, or you know, sometimes we feel like the world's against us out here, and sometimes it really is for a second at least, but it's not really. And you got to stay positive, because that shit doesn't do any good whatsoever to be negative, and negative just brings more negative. Smiles are contagious. I think people tend to like my smile, I guess. I don't know.
Cool, man. That was great.